Hello, my fellow comic book collectors. It's Alan, the Comic Collector Geek, and this is the finale, the grand finale, the Grail finale. There's 4 Grails in this book, in this part. There's only 6 books I'm showing, but there's 4 that are Grails, definite Grails. I hope you enjoy this one because I was pretty excited to get these books. These are like books I never actually thought I would own. They're pretty awesome books. So we're going to start out with a little light stuff and then build up to the bigger stuff. As I said, it's only 6 books I'm showing in this part, but I'm going to show some smaller books first. I was talking about this series earlier in one of the other parts. I picked this up basically for the cost of the slab. Not an expensive series. I kind of wanted to show this book, not because it's like one of the best ever, but it's actually reasonably cool and it's affordable. I wanted to have it as a balance to the big books that are in this video, because I didn't want people to come away from watching this video and think, oh, I'll never be able to afford anything from the Golden Age. There are some really cool looking covers and books from the Golden Age that are actually quite affordable. This is the cost of the slab. This is like I think it was under $40 kind of level. Okay, so this is Hero Comics number 64, Heroic Comics 1964, from number 64 from 1951. It is a painted cover, and it is got the Bill Everett cover. So Bill Everett is a key artist, and it features the art from Alfonso Green, H.G. Peter, who did Wonder Woman, and Harold Lee Doe art. So just, I don't know, and I kind of like the cover. This girl is getting stuck between 2 ships, and it looks like she's going to, or maybe the ship in the dock, I'm not sure. It looks like she's going to get squished. So yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was really cool. Very affordable. So that kind of balances out some of the bigger books that I'm going to show. Another one that, actually, this was on one of my hot lists because it was expensive, but I picked it up for a great price. And this one's actually from an important collection. This is Star Spangled Comics number 129. And this is from 1952. This is actually from the Christine Farrell collection. And I just like this cover. It was on one of my hot lists. I liked the cover so much. I was like, oh, I got to find it for myself. I just think it's really cool. Just these like flower people. I think it looked really cool, and I just wanted to find it. It kind of reminds me like it's Star Spangled Comics, but it has almost like a Tales of Suspense or some kind of like more anthology looking series where it's like like EC title kind of thing. Maybe be a better description. But yeah, I just really like this one, and it's Leonard Starr cover. I thought it was really cool. Girl flower people. Okay, so yeah, there's that one. Okay, now we get into the Grail books. We're going to start out with a smaller Grail, but it is definitely a major book. This one is Pep Comics number 36. This is, I thought, and it's labeled as such, but I'll get into that. This is the first cover appearance of Archie. Now, it turns out that this is not the first cover appearance of Archie. From what I can see, I actually looked up Archie Comics number 1 has earlier a cover appearance of Archie. But this is the first cover appearance of Archie in Pep Comics. This has been on my hot list a few times. It's also been on my list, my want list for top 10 comics I'd like to get this year. I was pretty excited to get this book. So this is first Archie cover is what the label says. See, I'm not just saying it out of the blue. It actually says it on the cover. And it's Infinity cover as well. So I really love Infinity covers. One of the many gimmicky covers that I collect is infinity covers, and this is just a really cool first potentially cover with Archie on the cover. And it's interesting because this is kind of one of those transitions, because this comic really, Archie does take it over. Originally it was Shield Wizard, and it becomes an Archie title where he basically takes it over, and it goes from being MLJ, which was the original name of the company, to Archie Comics. So yeah, just a really cool book. I'll show you the back as well. So cool, Sam. So yeah, from 1943. Oh, and I'll tell you what the restoration includes. It's slight C1, which is amateur and minor restoration. Restoration includes small amount of glue on spine of cover, tear seals to cover, cover married. So it's probably, I don't know, it doesn't look like married cover, but maybe it is. Maybe it's married, so it's separate, new cover to like a different book, probably. It was probably a coverless copy that they found another cover for it. So yeah, but yeah, just a really great book to have if you're an Archie fan. Okay, speaking of great books, this is probably maybe the biggest horror book. Like, I always like to get the first, like I picked up the first comic devoted to Westerns. I picked up the first comic devoted to romance. Well, this is the first comic devoted to pre-code horror, or horror comic. And it's Eerie Comics #1. This is a major grail for pre-code horror, because this is the book that started it all. This is the very first pre-code horror comic. And it's from Avon, 1947. It's the first horror comic, and it's a bondage cover. So the girl is in bondage. Girl in the red dress. Really appropriate. If you're going to start the first horror comic, you got to get a girl in a red dress in bondage on the cover. Just, it's a must. And they did it. And you also got this Nosferatu kind of character, like a Dracula-like character with the moon in behind him. Just awesome. Awesome stuff. And it's also the very first Avon comic, I believe. Yeah. It's Joe Kubert and Bob Fujitani art. And this one is restored, but it's slight restoration. Restoration includes small amount of color touch, spine seal, split sealed, tear seal, and it's from the collection of Ruben Blades. So Ruben Blades is a famous actor, and he recently sold his collection. So they all get sort of like not a pedigree, but a collection like seal. And it's actually on the notes for CGC as well. Not just the sticker, but actually within the notes. So very cool book. Very major grail for pre-code horror collectors. And I was pretty excited to get this one. This was actually on my list of books that I wanted to pick up. So two books that I wanted to pick up. And then two more, actually, right after that. Because I can't believe I got like 4 out of my top 10 want lists for the year, actually. And this next book is a huge one. This is Flash Comics number 86. And this is the very first appearance of the Black Canary. It's a really cool cover. You got this dinosaur crashing through the wall. And you got the girl in bondage down here. And you got Golden Age Flash running in to save the damsel in distress. Sadly, Black Canary is not on the cover. But, it's still, regardless of that, it is her first appearance. And it says, first appearance of the Black Canary, bondage cover. And it says, Joe Kubert cover and art. I actually made like a little video, AI video with this cover. I posted it on my Instagram, but I might append it on to the end of this video so you can see it. So it might be a little fun. It was fun, little AI generated video. I might show that. And this is a 1/8. This one I actually got for half FMV. Like other people have been, like I've been trying to get this book for a while, and people, their prices were insane, like 2 to 3 times what I paid for this one for the same grade. I was so happy to get this for an affordable price. I couldn't believe I won. I was like, oh, the auction stopped. I won. I was pretty excited. So yeah, definitely a cool book. I almost feel like the dinosaur has a bit of a smile, really toothy smile. So yeah, so just a really cool book. Another Grail. So we got the first pre-code horror, we got the first Archie, and now we got the first Black Canary. We got one more Grail to show, and it is a big one. It is a big one. Yeah, definitely a big book. Again, part of the way I've been able to get some of these big Grails in my collection has been by buying restored copies. This is a restored book, but it's still, I got it for half what this restored book sold for just a couple of years ago. So I was pretty excited when I got this, because I didn't think I would ever be able to afford a copy. So this is Detective Comics number 168, and this is the first appearance of the Red Hood. Now, if you read the story, it actually tells the origin story for the Joker. And spoiler, I mean, this book is from 1951, so it's not like you had 70 years to read the story, so this is not much of a spoiler. But the spoiler is the Joker is the Red Hood. So this is the origin of the Joker, and it's the origin, it is the first appearance of the Red Hood. And they actually explain how the Red Hood works, so how he can see through it and how he can do stuff. And it's kind of an interesting story. So I actually, once I won this auction, I searched online to read the story, so just so I'd have it in my quill. So yeah, just a really cool book. It's Lou Sire Swartz cover, and it's from 1951. But I just always felt like this was such an iconic Joker cover. Strangely, even though it doesn't look like the Joker, it's just such an iconic cover. The first appearance of the Red Hood and the origin of the Joker. Just a major, major book. And you got rifles on the back. DC air rifles. So just I was super excited. This one I got for a steal too. Man, I didn't think I would ever get this book. I was actually, there was one on my comic shop. It was like 11,000. I was like, oh, it's lower grade too. I was like, it's too much. I was debating about doing the monthly plans for it, but this one came up and I got it for a steal. I was so excited. So yeah, so Detective Comics 168. Wow, so excited to have it. So that is it for this grand finale. I hope you enjoyed the books. Which did you like the best out of the Grail books? I hope you enjoyed the series. And thanks again for watching. Bye for now.